Today I'd like to share with you something that I learned in the book called Firm of the Future by Paul Dunn and Ron Baker. When my first accounting practice collapsed and I went to open up my new firm, I decided to do things differently. And so I searched out multiple business books on finding a better way of running an accounting practice. And Firm of the Future was one of those books. And the first chapter in Firm of the Future, Ron and Paul talk about the old business model, the accounting business model, and how flawed it is. And this is something that I truly believe in, and I want to express and explain this a little better so you understand why. The old accounting model, which we're all familiar with, is the price that we're charging our clients is based on the hours that we spend times the rate that we're charging out at times the efficiency we get it done at. So if we're really efficient, we get it done really quickly, that actually drops our price down. Because if you get it done too fast, then and your rate isn't high enough, then the price you're going to charge is less. So what happens in accounting firms is this: as people get more efficient at what they do, we tend to start pushing their rates up because we're trying to make sure that the price stays where it's at. The other thing that's interesting with this whole model is that the only way we can increase our revenues is by increasing the hours that we work and the rate that we charge out at. But we all know that we can only include or increase these rates to a certain degree without our clients screaming. And a lot of clients won't like more hours being done, so you actually have to take on more clients. So that's how you infill the hours here to increase the price and the revenues that you're getting in the business. But the thing that I really want to make a point of here is that it's always hinging back to price. Accountants always seem to focus on these three inputs. And it's not the inputs that drives the price. The price is actually driven by what the client perceives as the value of the service. Every other business runs on that principle. If you don't see the value in a can of Coca-Cola for the price, you won't pay for it. The same thing works in all other aspects of business, except for the accounting world. For some reason, we seem to think this works, but in reality, we know that if the price is too high based on the value, the client's not going to pay for it. So then we have WIP write-offs and accounts receivable collection problems and all those fun joys. The real equation that you want to look at is this one. Price is less than the value. That's the equation you want to look at. So if you want to increase your prices, you actually have to increase the value of what you're providing to your clients. I had a client that wanted to do a transition to their family of their business. So one side of the family, they wanted to retire. They wanted their kids to take over. Instead of charging them this way, I charged them this way. I knew what the value was to them, and I charged the price accordingly so that it was less than the value that they received. When I reverse engineered the entire job once it was done, and by the way, they were extremely happy, it was all done, and now they've retired and the kids have taken over the business, my charge out rate under this model would have been close to $1,000 an hour. If I had quoted them $1,000 an hour to do the work to start, do you think they would have accepted? I don't think so. So, to recap this model is outdated and it doesn't make any sense. And we're constantly fighting to make these three adjust to here, this price. So instead of adjusting this to the price, adjust that to your price. Increase the value, know the value of the service that you're providing to your clients, and then you'll be able to ensure that the price you're getting is exactly balancing out the equation. So I'm Erik Solbakken, and wherever you're watching this, please scroll down, leave a comment. Love to hear from you. And if you haven't done so yet, please go to my website, eriksolbakkencpa.com, and download my PDF paper, The #1 Strategy to Accelerate Success in Your Accounting Practice. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more success tips to come.